So a full lume dial chronograph from Lorus, £60, twice the price of their field watch they do. Is that going to be as good? I don't know. Well, I do actually, and that's what we're going to be sharing with you now on this video. So let's get into it. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of this watch, here are the stats and specs. Now, customary to me, I like to start with the dislikes of a watch, because then if it's not for you, you don't have to carry on, because there could be a deal breaker in there. But I don't think there is going to be a deal breaker in this watch, because it is such a bargain. It's about £60. That's fabulous value for money. I got it from Argos, bought it with my own money, and I had to get it because I love the military look watches. And I also love Lorus Lume Bright. I've done a video about their field watch they did with the Lume Bright dial, and you guys love that video. There's been so many views. People are really into that piece because it's only £30 and it offers so much for the money. Does this still do that? That's the question. Does this offer all the Lorus goodness, affordability and funness, if that's a word? Let's see if this does it. First things I need to go through are the dislikes, because it's got a slightly scratchy, cheap feeling strap. Scratchy as in, you can almost hear it through the camera. It just feels a little bit stiff, a bit unforgiving, but it's totally serviceable. Lovely, rich green. It works really well with this dial. Looks nice, but yeah. It's what you'd expect on a 60 quid watch. Acceptable, but a bit cheap. Being a fully lume dial, the lume isn't as good, only by probably 20% less, in my opinion, than the field watch. I don't have that watch anymore. I don't know why I sold it. I'm a madman. But I just remember distinctly how good the lume was on that one compared to this one. This is good, but not as breathtaking as that 30 quid watch they do. Being a chronograph and having pushers, even on a quartz one, some watches have a lovely little pop to them, and you know, you've got a nice bit of pusher feel. The pusher feel on this watch is very muted, and by muted I mean there's no positive action. You just press it and you don't know if it's actually worked until you see things moving. So pusher feel, not great. And something I must inform you of, this subdial here, when it counts up and you're doing it in minutes, I let it run up to 40 minutes, just testing and timing something. I was like, this is cool, this is cool. And you're running the timer. This top one doesn't run like that all the time. It does it for a few minutes. But the point is, when you want to reset it, you go, oh, I've got my 40 minutes. There's no snapback. You know what you do? It's at 40 minutes. It just goes back. It literally winds itself back, obviously fairly quickly, but it takes a good few minutes to reset this from being at 40 minutes of counting back to resetting all these back to zero again. It will literally just go backwards again. I'm like, what? We're so used to pressing reset and it just goes ping straight back to off you go again on most watches. That is weird. And this crown, I'm afraid with these crown guards, it is a pig to pull out. It is, I mean I've got gloves on, but I normally try and just get my nail under this bit here just to get it out, because you can't get a bite on it. It's big size, you know, in diameter that way, but it's not very deep. And it's difficult to get your fingers on it. It's just really difficult. Now, another weird thing to have as a dislike, the marketing of this watch, zero. I only found out about this because I was looking for Lorus new releases, Lorus military style watches, and I went on to Argos because they said new, it had literally said new release, Lorus military style chronograph, and it didn't make any song and dance about it. It's just, they're selling it in Argos basically. This is a new release, and I had no idea about it. It wasn't on any Instagram thing. There wasn't any posts on the internet. There was nothing. I'm like, come on, Lorus. You can't just send it to Argos and hope for the best. I'm doing my bit by buying this and sharing it on my channel, because I'm like, come on, you make amazing watches for only like 60 quid. You could do better at your marketing. Just send a few watches out to some enthusiasts like me. You know, I'll borrow it, I don't care. Just get them out there. Get people in the community to know about these awesome watches. Now the rant's out the way, let's talk about the likes, because there are a lot more likes than dislikes, because I always got to bear in mind how much this watch actually cost me. And then you go, you know what, for 60 quid, I don't need to be too harsh on it really, do I? The styling is the first thing. I love this big, clear, legible dial. Black against the lume dial is so crisp and clear and easy. actually got compliments wearing this watch. I rarely get compliments for anything I wear, but people notice this watch. I think it's helped by its big, clear, bold, minty, creamy dial. It's really vibrant, and that captivates people, and I like that. I was a bit harsh earlier in my criticisms of the lume not being as good as their cheaper watch, but it's still extremely good. This will enable you to see this in poor light conditions after a minimal charge quite easily. The lume is better than you think. It's just we get a bit carried away with seeing full lume dials being like torches, but this is a £60 watch and it's extremely good. So it's very fun and very unusual on a chronograph watch. You just don't see that. And I love when it's not loomed up, the milky colour is gorgeous. It's like a weird, very pale avocado or something like that. It's the best way to describe it. It's really interesting colour and I do love that. Yeah, hand links are great. Hour hand can be a bit longer in my opinion, but the minute hand is spot on, comes right out here. The hour hand could be a little bit longer, ever so slightly. I'm just being ultra critical, but it's really good. Very legible, date wheel. All the layout is spot on. Really neatly done. All the gaps are really even. The gap here where there's no sub-dial is filled with the date and the information here saying Lorus Chronograph 10 bar. 10 bar's good as well. No, it's all just neat, very nicely proportioned. Go back to the 10 bar, 100 meters water resist. Take this watch, 60 quid, slap it on, holiday watch, perfect. Bit of fun when the lights go down. I don't know what you'd be timing in the dark, but I wouldn't be celebrating that unless it was impressive. But then anyway, it's just fabulous specification, bar the mineral crystal for this kind of price. Military vibes without being boring. Military style watch with a lume dial. You don't see that. Really cool. Lorus, part of the Seiko group. I would like to see them put a VK in this. How amazing would that be? It'd be very cool to have the VK movement with the snapback and the smoother tick of the seconds hand. I just think they can do it. I mean, and you wouldn't worry about seconds hand alignment and things like that. I love the VK movements. They're dirt cheap. I really love this. On a watch this cheap, look at this top sub dial. If we start the counter, it's got that 1/10 sub dial. Look, you stop it, gives you accurate timekeeping. I just love that. Spinning around nice and quick there. You don't normally see that at this price. It's so lovely. And you press reset. That resets fairly quickly. And this is so light and comfortable. I'm going to quickly show you on wrist. Even though I have a average wrist, there's quite a lot of scope for smaller wrists, surprisingly. I thought a bigger watch like this would cater more for larger wristed folk, but it doesn't. I mean, I've got this fitting me just snugly, as you can see on my wrist. Very nice proportions. Works lovely with my skin tone, don't you think? Slim on the wrist, slim enough. Really comfortable. It's such a light watch, under 100 grams. You don't notice watches like that really unless you are incredibly very feeble, but this just wears so beautifully. So there you have it, a fabulous watch for the money. Could do with a bit more lume, but it's £60 and I'm comparing it to a watch they've done before which is a bit better for the whole lume side of things, but as a package it's really good. You're not going to get much else out there for this price with that kind of look and all that stuff. So yeah, really good fun. Hope you like this video. Check out one of my many others I've done. I've done loads. Really hope you enjoy your ongoing YouTube journey with me, Dan from Watch Me With Watches. Do subscribe if you haven't yet. It'd be good to see you again. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.